Oh, I was on mute. I was unaware about it. So, hi guys, welcome back to another session of Selenium Python. Am I audible to all of you? A quick audio check, guys. Am I clearly audible to all of you? Yes, no, maybe. Yeah. So, yeah, Yukesh, all the lifetime members have access to all the class recordings. Hi, Rishikesh. Are we going to cover cloud test execution in this course? Cloud test execution is not a part of this course right now, but if the time allows us, I'll try to add this in the course. However, right now it is not a part of this course. Yes. Yeah. I'm so sorry, Ankur. I was not able to connect back to you. I just received. I will be connecting to you after the class for sure. Okay. So, guys, today we are going to see. We're going to start with the Selenium part. I'll just give you a bit small demo uh, for the flow again. Then we're going to work on data types in Python. What are the different types of data types available with us and information on the same. Okay. Anybody having any question related to class or session, course, content, anything, you guys are free to ask. Just give me a minute. So what was the error you received, Nilesh, while executing a program? Can you share me the error? You need to write small print, Nilesh. Capital P is not a function. Small p is a function. So you need to write it like this, the way I'm writing. You are trying to use a capital P, which is not a function. That is why it is not executing. Yeah, try that. It will work accordingly. So what are the different data types available in Python? So the first one we have is numbers. Inside numbers, we have integer, then we have float, then we have complex numbers. Uh, Majorly, there are three categories. We also have long with us, fourth one. Then, if I talk about the next one, it is strings. I'll explain them in a minute. Then we have some data structures with us. These are the important one, data structure. So the data structures we have is list, we have tuple, we have set, we have dictionary. These are the four different types of data structures that we have with us. Okay, so we have a question from somebody. Are we going to cover PyLint to find code coverage of application under test? Uh, yeah, we can use PyLint without a problem. Pylint, as of now, I have not added the same in the course, but that is something we should add it. So yeah, I will be covering Pylint. I'll check with it one time and then I will update you. So Gaurav, you have a question. Hi, when you create fresh Python project, could you please elaborate about the external libraries and scratches and cookies is which is deemed under the Python project? Are you talking about these external libraries, Gaurav? So these are nothing but again, this is so whenever you create a you can say a project using a UI like this, it contains some inbuilt library. Inbuilt library means something like you have print function, you have it has its own virtual environment if you see here. So you can see this is something which is the same thing which we have inside the venv folder and some external stuff which is not of our use right now, so that is why we are not focusing here. Okay, so we have dictionaries, we have list, Python. So let's see one by one each of them, and let's start with the very first one, which is numbers. So as I said, there are multiple types of numbers. Okay, now suppose if I write a is equal to, and if I say print a, what you guys think, what will be the type of this variable? If I ask you normally, what is this number and what will be the type of this number, and will this number be printed or not? Is integer able to hold the length of this number? Yes or no? Yes, no, maybe, whatever. So let me run it. Let's say, okay, my bad. Yep. Hence, what we can say that boss, yes, integer is able to hold this much of length. So Gaurav, yesterday we discussed that Python is dynamic in nature, which means that we do not need to define the type of the data we are using here. That is why we do not define it here. So type, what is the use of this type function? Type function gives you the type of the data which is stored in this. Another function which we have inbuilt is called is instance. What this function does, it checks whether the given value, if I say whether the given value is of type int or not. So if I say check whether a, this variable a is an instance of the integer class or not. So if I run it, it returns me true that yes, it is a instance of the integer class. So sometimes you might get a question, if I say write a program to verify the given data is of string in nature. So in that case, this question can be an interview question or a trick question or anything like that. So what a person can do in this case, he or she can simply, just a second guys, I'm getting a phone call. Yeah, I'm so sorry. So the question sometimes can be there that okay, verify whether you know the given data is of string in nature, so you guys can simply write a program using this instance function, and in case if the value returns true, it is of string in nature, otherwise it is not in string in nature, right? Other questions, other important thing can be, there is one more way of dealing with numbers. If I say 2e5, what it normally, what it means, if anybody can tell me, if you have seen this in calculators, a number like 2e5, does this number exist? If exist, what does this stands for? Whatever, any answers are welcomed. If you guys have seen this type of number in the calculator, what does this e stands for? Exponent. What is the use of this exponent? Power of. Yeah. So what can we write it, Rajni? Can we say this as 2 raised to the power 5? Or if I say 2 raised to the power 2, is that what you're trying to say, Ankur? So what will be the output for line number 23? What will be the answer for this line number 23? Let's run it. But the answer is 200. So this e is 10 raised to the power. That is what I'm trying to say. This is an exponent. This is mantissa, and this is your exponent. So what we say 2 multiplied by 10 raised to the power 2. So 10 raised to the power 2 is 100, and then when you multiply it with 2, it results as 200. So this is a trick question. Anybody can ask you that what will be the output of this. So always remember 2e2 is 2 multiplied by 10 raised to the power 2, and when I write 2 double star 2, if I run it now, the answer is 4. So this double star in Python means power of. This double star in Python means power of. So 2 raised to the power 2 is 4. But when I'm saying 2e2, it means 2 multiplied by 10 raised to the power 2. Is it clear? Yes, no, maybe? To all of you? Yeah. Similarly, we have float functions with us. So what can we say? We can say b is equal to 4.1251 something. If I want to check the type, how can I check it? I simply say give me the type of B. I can also verify whether B is an instance of the float class or not. So let me run it. If I execute it, yes, it is of float in nature, and is instance function is also returning me true. If I say was print me uh, 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 2 divided by 2, so what will be the answer as per you guys? When 2 is divided by 2, what is the output? 1. Let's run it. It is 1, but always remember the division is floating in nature. Whenever you perform a division in Python, it is floating in nature, which means that it has a decimal part along with it. Okay. Next, we have some, we can say we have complex numbers with us. Complex numbers are, what are complex numbers? Anybody? What are complex numbers? Any example of a complex number? Can anybody give me an example? 10 plus 2j. Okay, so let me write the same 10 plus 2j. So here 10 is my real part and 2j is my imaginary part, correct? If I again verify the if I verify the type of C, let's see what it returns to me. It returns me true, right? So this is what how we handle numbers in Python. We handle int, float numbers. What is a long number? Long number can be treated as a assignment for you. Give a proper example what a long number can be. So whenever you're working with me, you need to be prepared with your assignment, guys. You will be getting assignments on week to week basis and try to submit them before the next class. That will be a good practice for you and for everybody else as well, right? Cool. So now, uh, let's say, let me also introduce you to some binary numbers, maybe. So what if I say I want the binary for 5? Anybody who knows me, who knows what is the binary number for 5? I want the binary number for 5. Anybody? What is a binary number if I ask you? 101. So how can I do that here? I can use the binary function. I can say, tell me the binary of 5. If I run it, it returns me 0B101. What does that mean? 0B stands for binary conversion. 0B stands for binary conversion. If I say print me the integer of, I want to give a binary number, how can I give it? I can give 0, a small b or a capital B, both are same thing. If I say 4 times 1, so what is the integer of this number? What is the integer of this number? No, Ankur, it's not 16. Try one more time. What is the integer of this number? It's 15, right? 16 is a 5-digit binary number. 2 raised to the power 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, and it goes on. So if you want to print the binary of a number, we can use the bin function. If you want to print the integer of a binary number, we can use the int function. If I want the octadecimal number of a number, let's say 5, then we can use the oct function. If I run it, you see it is 0, 0. So we use the prefix as 0, O, small, big, anything. So like this, we can convert one number into another type of a number using these inbuilt functions. Am I clear to all of you? Yes, no, maybe? I would appreciate if everybody reply. Yeah? Okay, great. So now let's move to another topic, which is Python strings and how can I deal with it. So let's add marker. I'll go down. What is a string, if anybody can tell me? What is a string? Collection of characters, correct. So if I want to print a collection of characters, I can use strings. So for example, if I say A is equal to welcome to pay to automation. So what is this? This is a collection of characters, right? If I print the type of A, it should be str. I can verify the same. Print is instance. I can say A is an instance of the str class, yes or no. If I run it, yep, it says that was A is of type string, and yes, it is a part of integer class. If I say it is equal to welcome to way to automation. So line number 38 and line number 42 are same in nature or not? Yes, no, maybe. What is the difference if yes? Are line number 38 and line number 42 same in nature? If not, then why? If yes, then why? Everybody. Characters can be enclosed in single. So if I follow the same trend, will it make any difference? If I run it, so it says str true, which means we can define a string using double inverted commas or a single inverted commas. It does not make any difference. It will make treat the same as a string only. But what if I do something like this? I start it with a single inverted comma and I end it with a double inverted comma. If I run it now, it says, boss, I received a syntax error that end of line while scanning string literal. I cannot identify this. What is this? So this is one thing, that how do we define a string in Python, right? Now what if I want to print something like this? I'm saying I want to print welcome to way to automation, but this W2A should be in inverted commas. How can I do that? If I try to write it like this, is this the correct way? Is this the correct way? Yes, no, maybe. And if I say print A, if not, then how can I resolve this issue? So how can I resolve this issue? I can use, I can use, so you're saying you use slash like this, which is escape sequence character. So if I run it now, yeah, this is one way of doing it, which is correct. So this is called escape sequence character, which means you want to escape the original functionality of this inverted comma, and you want to use this as a normal character. Again, I'm saying I want to escape the original functionality of this inverted comma and I want to use it as a direct normal character. So I can escape it. What else I could have done? I could have used single inverted commas like this to make it work again. If I run it, you see it is working again. Now what if I want to work it like this? I can give double inverted commas here. Sorry. And I could have given double inverted comma here. So now if I run it, it works the same way which it was working before, right? So can I do something like this? If I say A is equal to welcome uh, to W2A. Is this correct way or not? Will this line of code work or will this line of code not work? Yes, no, maybe. It should not. Yes. What will be the output if it, in case if everybody is saying yes? What should be the output here? Let's try to run it. It prints me welcome to W2A. It does not raises me a error. So you can define a string like this as well in Python. This is also allowed. What Python focuses, Python always focuses on your logics. Your logics should be correct. The rest Python handles on its own whatever backend things, geeky things it has to do. So anybody who is new to coding, anybody who is having basic knowledge in coding, it's easier for them to grab Python easily. So if name is equal to main, so yeah, this is one concept that we will be seeing later. So we have a main class by default, which so this is all about namespace game. This will be discussed later because right now people will be getting confused. I need to first of all explain you the privacy nature of something. Just give me a minute, guys. So I need to explain that why are these required. So this will be discussed when we will be discussing OOPS concept. So I'll be explaining this concept over there. So now if I say I want to print A2, so what will be printed? Anybody? If I want to print the second position of the string, what will be printed? I will appreciate if most of the persons can answer. Prashant, Richa, Sandesh, Prinaidu, Sumedh. So let me run it. It prints L. It prints L. Why it prints L? Because if I am writing a string in a memory location, so it is stored in this fashion. So let me take an example of, so the string is A S H I S and then I can say H and so on. So this is the string. So what happens? It is start whenever we want to access any element of the string, it starts from the first position. This position has an index value of 0. Okay, this has an index value of 0. Similarly, as we move ahead with the string, the index position keeps on increasing. This has an index value of 1. Then this has an index value of 2. This has an index value of 3. This has 4. And this has an index value of 5. So when I'm saying that, tell me, suppose this is A is equal to, so when I'm saying boss, print me A2. So what happens? It iterates to the second position because it starts from 0. It moves to the second position and prints me the output, which is H. So similarly over here, it moves till the second position, which is W, E, and L, and it prints me the L as the result. Is it clear to everybody how to access a Python string? Yes, no, maybe. Everybody, Samir, Vinay, Venkat, Anand, Amit, Dibyendu. Yeah. So now what if I say boss A2 is equal to M, A2 is equal to M, and then again print A. So what will happen now? I am trying to assign that on the position of A2, give this value and then print it. So what will happen now if I run it? It says boss str object does not support item assignment, which means str object means this str object. So this is a string object. Why is it a string object? Because A is of what type? String type. So it says str object, right, does not support item assignment. What is item assignment? This operator is called assignment operator, right? So it says that boss, a string once defined, a string object cannot support item assignment, which means I cannot update a string after defining it. So this is one thing we cannot do with strings directly. We have indirect methods, but directly we are not allowed to try to change the string in this fashion. Okay, so if somebody gives you a question like this, be blunt and clear that boss, this is not supported. You cannot do anything like that. This is again a type of a trick question that we can face in your interviews or something. Now comes one interesting part. So now suppose if I say boss, print me a 1, 2, 3. What happens here? So let me first of all show here. I'm saying print a 1:3. What it means? It means it means start from this number, start from this. So as per you guys, what will be the output of this? If I ask you normally, 1, 2, 3. E. Okay, so I can see some correct answers and I can see some incorrect answers. So, Richa, can you tell me why will it print EL? So if I run it, yes, it prints EL, but why? So the catch is that it starts from this and till it moves till this -1, this -1. Hence, it starts from 1 and it will last at 2. So it will print S and H in this case. What is this concept called? This concept is called Dibyendu. What do we call this concept? What do we call this concept, Dibyendu? We call it slicing. Okay, we call it slicing. So now if I say, tell me guys, what will be 4:6? What will be the output now? The string is this. What will be the output? 4:6. So this is how the slicing operator. Now what if I give you something like 4:nothing? It means starts from 4 and move till the last of the position. Now if I run it, it starts from O and it moves to the last of the string. Okay. What if I directly gives this? What does that? What does this mean? This means print everything. Now, what if I say reverse this string? So write a program in Python where you are given a string and you want to reverse it. So how can you reverse a string? What will I do? I'll say -1. I'll run it. Okay, so right now it has not reversed it. It what happened in -1? It has moved till one position less. So I'll tell you the concept. How can we reverse it also? What if I give you 7:1? Is this valid or is this invalid? Let me run it. What it says, it does not print me anything. It prints me invalid data. It prints me nothing. So this is called slicing operation in Python. Let me give you one more example of negative index. Let me say -2 and then colon. What will be printed now? From where will it start? So whenever you're giving a negative sign, I'll show you. Whenever you give a negative sign, it means move to this many positions from back, from the last. So it moves till this 0, 1 and 2. So it starts from this position, which is 2, and it goes till the end. So it prints me 2 and A. So I'll explain this again. So whenever you give a negative operator, it starts from the right hand side of the string. It moves to this many positions, which is till the second position, which is 0, 1 and 2. Then it does not include it, and it starts from the next one till the end of it. Okay. Slicing operation applies to Java or not? We cannot do directly like this in Java, Radha. It is not allowed. Java does not support it right now. Yeah. So this is one thing. This is what slicing operation is all about. We can also concatenate strings. How do we concatenate it? So if I say A is equal to hi, B is equal to pi, and then if I say boss print me A plus B, what will be the output? If I run it, the output comes to be hi bye. Why? Because this is called concatenation of operators. Similarly, if I say boss 10 plus 20, what will be the output now, guys? Think and answer. What is 10 plus 20? What will be the output in this case? Think and answer again. 30. Let's execute it. The answer is 1020. Why? Because both of them are acting as strings. Both of them are acting as strings. Hence, the answer is concatenation operator. What is concatenation operator does? It simply adds both of the strings together and gives you the output. But if I say evaluate A plus B, and now if I run it, it should have printed me 30. Let's see what went wrong maybe. In case if you will be giving it without inverted commas, it will be definitely 30. But if you're giving it with inverted commas, it is directly A plus B. Hi Sumedh, how are you? I'll see why is it not like working like that. Okay, if I say 10 plus 20, what will be the output now, guys? Will it work? Will it not work? Should not work. Let me run it. Can only concatenate string, not to integers. Okay, so we cannot perform an operation like this. So keep this in mind. Okay, now another important thing when we are discussing strings is string formatters. It is string formatters. Okay, so suppose if I say my name is Ashish and I want to print uh, student name is equal to Ashish, right? So right now if I run it, it prints me student name is equal to Ashish. But what I want is I want whatever the value of this variable is, it should be displayed here. So if I write here name directly, will it work? It simply prints me name. It does not puts the value directly. So what can we do so that it puts the value directly? What one method is, the first method says you could have used we could have used something like this. These are called braces, and I'll say this is my 0th position or whatever I want to say. That I want some data here, I can say something I want here, and whatever is that I want, I'll be going back. Sorry, and I will say comma. Sorry. So there is a function called dot format, and I'll say I want the value of name to be placed in this position. So if I run it now, you say it prints me name is equal to Ashish. Here if I say name is Prajakta, if I run it, it says student name is equals to Prajakta. Okay, so this is one way of doing this. This is called string formatters. What is another way of doing the same thing? So since we are dealing with Python, the easier way has to be there. So what we will be doing, we will be appending a f in front of the string. This is called f strings. And I'll come here and I'll say I want the value name to be placed here. I want the value of this variable to be placed at this position. If I run it now, so again it prints me student name is equals to Prajakta. Okay, so these are the two most important types which are available with us of defining a string formatter. So is it clear to everybody till here? Yes, no, maybe. I would appreciate if everybody answers. Okay, so now let's try to work a bit more in it. Let's see how uh let's say, okay, I will be teaching that in terms of operators. So I believe till here it is clear to everybody. Now let's move to another data structure, which is list, which is another important data structure to be taken care of. So hi Vinay. Can you repeat the last example again? Yeah, sure. So the last example here is we can use the f string Vinay. So this we can just simply append the f in front of the string, and whatever the value variable value I want to place at whichever position, I can do that like this. So suppose if I say there is another variable age is equal to 20, I can say student name is this and age is equal to, I can place this variable here. If I execute this code, it prints me student name is Prajakta and age is equal to 20. So it works like this. We will be getting notes of these. No, Nilesh, you will be getting the, sorry, Sumit, you will be getting the recording of this complete uh, lecture. As of now, we do not provide some handwritten notes, but yes, we provide uh, the recordings of the lectures. Why we use if? We use if because this is a string formatter method, Vinay. This is the syntax which we have to follow. The way we have a format function, similarly we have a if string method which we can use or follow. Or elaborate more about if. There is nothing to elaborate more about if. This is just a syntax, and you can use the variables directly wherever you want to use them using this method. We can use concatenation also. How can you print both of these things using concatenation? Can you give me an example of that, Vinay? Can you give me an example of the same? Till that point of time, we are going to start with lists. Without integer value, I'm not getting your question, Vinay. Will there be any suggestions? So let's try to see. So if you, the moment you remove it, it works normally, Nilesh. And the moment you append this with an F, you see there is a change of color and everything. So this can be treated as an identification of using F strings and not using F strings. Cool. Vinny, can you elaborate your question more? Student name plus name. So you are trying to add the Java syntax here, huh? So you are saying, why can't we print something like this? Student name is equal to plus name, then plus inverted commas age is equal to plus age, right? This is what you're trying to say. This, let's see how, if it works or not. Let's execute it. You see here it says I cannot concatenate strings and integers together. In case if this would have been a string, it could have added it directly, but it cannot. For this right now it is treating like an addition operator, Vinay. So doing this in Python is not directly available. We cannot do something like this in Python. Hence we need to use fstring method or a format method out of these two. One. Okay. Am I clear to you, Vinay? Yes, no, maybe. Okay, cool. Then we have lists with us. So what is list? List is a very important data structure in Python, guys. It is most, you can say most of the things in your questions comes and revolves around lists. So what all we will be learning here. So let's see one by one. What is list? this is mutable in nature. Mutable in nature. What is mutable in nature means? It means we can perform the Crud operation here. What is the Crud operation? See, we can perform the Crud. Crud means create, read, update, and delete. So this is called a Crud operation, which means anything which is mutable in nature is Crud in nature, which means I can create a list, I can read a list, I can update a list, I can delete a list. How is list defined? A list is defined using two square brackets. What is a list? It is a type of a container which can contain any type of data inside it, right? Let's give and take an example. If I say boss A is equal to a list, if I give data like Ashish, I can give integer data, I can give a floating point data, I can give a boolean data which is true false, I can give a complex number to 4 plus 3j, and so on. I can give any type of data inside this. So now if I said tell me whether what is the type of this variable, also print me whether is instance or A is an instance of list or not. If I run it, it says boss it is a list in nature, and yeah, the assertion is also correct. So what is a list? A list is something which is mutable in nature. It can hold a sequence of values irrespective of the type of the data we are trying to store in it, and so on, right? We can have a list of list. If I say B is equal to um, this is a list containing another list. Let's say these are some languages, English, then I say Hindi, something like this. Now if I run and print B, if I say was print B, I'll run it. You can see it prints me the data. It is again of, let me type the type, print the type of the data also, type of B. Let me run it again. It shows because this is again a type of a list. So a list can hold any type of data inside it, integer, boolean, string, and complex number. It can store a list itself inside it, and so on, right? So now how do we access it? If I say we can simply access it by giving it a variable. We can simply tell that boss I want this variable and it will print me. But what if I say I want to access a specific element? I can give this slicing operator. If I say print me B of 0, run it, it prints me the 0th element. If I say print me B of 1, if I run it, it prints me Hindi, which is the first element in this list. So we can iterate a list using this slicing operator, right? This is as easy as it sounds. We can perform all these slicing operations. Now, if I say, I want to change some data, I want to reassign it. How can I do that? I can simply say B is equal to Ashish and then comma 21, and if I again print the first element of B, so what happened now? The list is reassigned and it prints me 21. Earlier it was assigned to another variable. Now it has assigned to another variable. What if I only want to change one out of all these? What can I do? I can simply say B1 is equals to, let's say, Prajakta, right? If I say it like this, and now if I print B1, if I run it again, this time it prints Prajakta, and let me print the list again. So if I show you the list, print B before and after. So you see, before the list was Ashish 21, now the list is Ashish Prajakta. So this is the update operation which I was talking about. We can read, reassign, create. We can update a list. How can I update it? I can update it using this method or format, right? How can I delete a specific element? Again, using a very simple del keyword. I say del b1, that's it. And now if I try to print the list one more time, let's see what happens. You see, it now only prints me Ashish. It deletes this Prajakta over here. So is it clear to everybody till here? Yes, no, maybe? Yes, cool, great. So now let's move ahead. Over here in the list itself, mm, let me take, how can I can perform all the, operations which we can perform. So operations such as, if I take one list as A, okay, so I have A and B as my lists available above. This is A and this is B. If I say boss, print me A plus B, so let's see what it prints me down. You see, it prints me this A as a complete list, and it concatenates the second list. So hence it makes A plus B the complete as one list, which is called concatenation of list, right? If I say print B star B star 2, so what will happen now? If I run it, it multiplies the same list by 2, which means it prints the same list two times. If I say B star 5, so what will happen now? It will print Ashish 5 times, and it will store that in the same list. So this operation is called multiplication, or sometimes we also refer this as repetition, repetition operation. This is also something it is termed as, right? Another most important operator which is available in Python language, and most specifically and exclusively in Python language, is the membership operator, which is a Boolean function again. So what if I say was print me whether Ashish is in A. So after reading this sentence, what will you say? That this Ashish is in A, yes, no, or not? Yes, no, maybe what? What will you say after reading line number 93? That Ashish is in A or not? A is my this list. This is list A. What will you say? Let me print A for you first here. Let me run it. You see, it returns me true. Why? Because the sentence says, check whether this Ashish is in A or not. So yes, this Ashish is in this list, hence it has returned me true. But what if I say, if I have said it, check whether Ashish 1 is in A or not? What will it return me now? Let me run it. It returns me false. So here this in is called the membership operator. What is it called? It is called membership operator, right? So this n is called the membership operator, which is a Boolean operator which returns either true or false depending upon the nature of the execution, right? So if the element is present in the list, it returns you true. If the element is not present in the list, it will return you false. Is this operator clear to everybody? Yes, no, maybe? I will appreciate if everybody answers me the same question. Is that clear to everybody? Yes, no, maybe? Which part of the list you want me to repeat, Vinay? So after this is the concatenation operation which I have performed. A concatenation operation is something where it is adding two lists in the same list. So over here, this is an example. So this is list A and this is list B. It has added both of them from here. From here, you are saying, okay. So I've defined one more list over here, which is this. It is a this list contains its a list inside this, which is called nested, or you can also name it as a multi-dimensional list. Okay. So when I'm trying to access the first element or zero is the first element, I could have used the slicing operator like this, which is v1. So this is location 0, this is location 1. So it gives me an output as HIN Hindi. You can see here, which gives me an output as Hindi. Then I say I'm updating my list. I'm adding 21 here. If I again print B1, it prints me 21. Then I'm just simply saying I'm updating my list. When I'm saying I'm updating my list, I'm saying at location number 1 of this list. So this B is the name of the list. At location number 1 of this list, I want to add the name Prajakta. So what will happen now? It will add the name Prajakta instead of 21. It will override it like this, and I'm printing it. Then I'm saying I want to delete the element present at location 1 of this list. So I'm using the delete keyword, del, like this. I'm printing it and verifying the type of the list. The data, it is again list. Then I'm performing the concatenation operation on list A and B. List A is this, and list B is only containing Ashish right now. So it concatenates both of them and create one single list like this. Then I'm performing a multiplication operation, or we can also say it as repetition operation, which means you are giving the same data multiple times. So uh, if I write it directly, if I show you also, let me run it again. So you see it has printed Ashish 5 times because it has repeated the data in the list 5 times. Then I am talking about the membership operator. Membership operator is the in operator where we can verify whether an element is available in a list, yes or no. So it returns true if the element is available in the list. It returns false if the element is not available in the list. So is it clear to everybody right now? Yes, no, maybe? Clear to everybody? Great. So similarly, we have a function also, which function is the list function. So if I say list, if I print this actually, so list is an inbuilt function, and if I give here and I say ABC, so what will it do? It will convert this ABC inside into a list structure. This is also one important thing to be taken care of. Okay. Now we have some important built-in functions of this list. So what are these built-in functions? Let's see one by one. If I say, so I have the list B already. If I say B dot append means to add something in the last, in the end. So I say I want to append, let's say Rajni, I want to append in the list, and then I want to print it. So if I print B now, and before adding this also I will be printing B. So let's see the difference. So you see, before adding anything, the list was containing Ashish, and now it contains Rajni as well. Means it convert into array. Is it correct? So this append function you're talking about, Gaurav, line number 97 you're talking about. Okay. So yes, you can say it converts this given string into a list like this. It separates each and every character, and each and every character is stored as an element inside a list. Okay, clear? So what happened is, using the append function adds the data in the end of the list. So right now it was Ashish initially. Now the list contains Ashish as well as Rajni inside it. So this is the function of the append function. Now what if somebody says you want to insert some data at a specific location, right? In that case, what can we do? So let's say for that we have a function called b dot insert. So what it takes the index, and then it takes the value what you want to add at that position. So I'm saying on position number 0, add the value, let's say 21. So now if I print b, what will happen? You see, at index number 21 at position 0, it has at index 0 it has added the data 21. If I say I want to add this data at index number 1, if I run it now, so you see it has added the data at index number 1, whatever the data you want to give. So like this, you can insert any data at a specific point. Now if you want to remove something, you could simply write b dot remove. What it does, it removes the first occurrence of this value. So I'm saying remove 21. It does not takes the index value, it takes the list value. Do not get confused. Multiple times people ask you this interview question, that what will happen in this case. So if I run it, you see it has removed 21. It does not take the index value, it takes the direct value of the list, whatever value you want to give here. Okay, so if you want to empty the list, sometimes somebody says empty the list, you could have used b dot clear function. Now if I print b, so now the list is available, but the list is empty in nature, like this. It has removed everything out of it. Cool. If you want to count the number of elements inside it, so let's not remove it. Let me use count. Now what do you want to count? You want to count that how many times Ashish is there in the list. If I run it, wait a minute. So it should have returned me 1. Sorry, b dot count. I want to print it here. I want to print it like this. That gives me the count. If I run it, you see it tells me that, boss, this Ashish is one time available in this complete list. So you can do it like that. And suppose if you want to sort the list, there is an inbuilt function again, b dot sort print b. So right now I believe the list is already in the sorted fashion. So to make it unsorted, let's add something, b dot index insert. Let's say at 0th position I want to insert Rajni. or I can say I want to insert the biendu. And now if I print the list, what will happen? At 0th D is there, at 1 A is there. After sorting, let's see what happens. You see, before sorting the list looks like this. After sorting the list looks like this. In case if you want to reverse the list, we can simply use the reverse function, b dot reverse print b. So let's see what happens now. It has reversed the list. It's Rajni, Dibyendu, and Ashish this time. So is this is all about list, guys? Is it clear to everybody? Yes, no, maybe? To everybody, I'm asking. Okay, great. So now the next topic we have tuples, dictionary sets that we will be covering in the next class. I don't want to burden most of the things in one day only. So anybody having any questions regarding the course and regarding anything? Because from next class the batch is definitely going to be started. How many of you are interested in joining? How many of you are not? You guys can tell me here directly. Selenium sample program. Let me write here one for you. Selenium sample. So I can simply import Selenium. In case if it is not available, you can pip install it. So it has installed it successfully. Now I can say from Selenium import WebDriver. I can say driver is equal to WebDriver dot the Chrome browser I want to execute it on. Then I can give my executable path, or just a minute. I could have copied it. Go here inside env folder, go to your scripts, add the Chrome driver. There is no need of giving the executable path now. I can now simply write driver dot get. Let's get a URL then. Suppose I want to move to way to automation's website only. Driver dot get to this URL, and then I can say driver dot maximize. So yeah, if I execute this code, let's run it. So you can see the browser opened up, maximizes it, moves to the given URL, and now whatever actions I want to perform here, I can perform. So this can be worked as a sample Selenium program. Yeah. In the same way, we can do it ahead also. So first we will be covering Python for sure, then we will be coming on Selenium. The timings of this course is from 6:30 p.m. IST to 8 p.m. IST. On weekends, which is Saturdays and Sundays, the duration is from 15 classes to 20 classes, which makes 2 to 2.5 months. Uh, like Java, is Python also platform independent? Yes, Nilesh. Python is also platform independent. We will not use Eclipse. No, we will not use Eclipse. We will be using PyCharm to perform all the Python based operations. Are we covering Jenkins? Yes, I showed you yesterday also. We will be covering Jenkins. After performing all these things, we will be pushing our code on the GitHub machine. then executing the jobs using the Jenkins machine, and so on. We are also going to cover BDD framework, Cucumber BDD, definitely data-driven framework, page object models. We are not going to cover API testing in this course. Only UI testing is being covered, guys. API testing has a different course available, which is ended last week. This course will be only and only responsible for the UI testing only. Okay. What about lifetime membership plan? Can you please tell about at the end of the session? Yeah, lifetime membership program, Gaurav. It is like once you have enrolled in that, you have access to all the previous videos of all the lectures. Plus, you have access to all the upcoming video lectures of any course, may it be Java Selenium, may it be Python Selenium, or API testing, robot framework. Any course, you have access to all of them. So one of the students, the BNZ in your own session, has already taken that. So live session is it? So yeah, you have access to all the live sessions, yes, and the ones which are recorded, you have access to all those also. You will be, yes, Vinay, we will be developing the framework completely. Selenium with Python can support API testing. Anand, API testing is different, which can be supported from Python. Selenium has no relations with it. Any demo in API testing? We have completed the batch last to last week only. So right now there is no demo scheduled on that batch. Yeah. Anybody having any more questions? So how many of you are willing to join it, if I can ask you this? What about the showcase of at least 1 year's hands-on after completion of the course? Since I'm, yeah, you can definitely showcase a good experience in this course once you complete it. You will be taking care of assignments and all the interview-based questions, so you can prove yourself on that domain. Yeah, we are going to start it from the upcoming Saturday and Sundays, which is from 30th of January. What is the course fees? You will be getting an email from Rahul. He will be updating you all the course fees. Rahul will take the classes. No, Vinay, I will be taking the classes. My name is Ashish Garg. Where I get this class code and how I support for query. So Yogesh, you will be receiving credentials when you enroll of a portal where you guys can have all the access to the code and regarding all these recordings. And regarding the query, I am available as a live session trainer on weekends. You can ask me any questions over there. Also, we are going to create a WhatsApp group. You can post your query on that WhatsApp group. Anybody in the group can feel free to answer it. Is there any another online course going on? Yeah, maybe in Java Selenium there are a few courses going on, but not in Python. Will there be any support? Yeah, we the support will be there in case if you have any questions after the course. Also, you can directly contact me on my contact number. I will be available. The Java Selenium course is available, Richa. You can enroll in that also if you take the lifetime membership stuff. Yeah, definitely. In case if you guys have any questions, you can have a call on my given number. So for those who are unaware, my number is 7011197716. You can also drop me an email on this email ID agarg9582@gmail.com. So feel free to connect, not a problem. So regarding the fees and everything, you will be getting a detailed email from Rahul. In case if you have query, try to drop an email me for initially, Gaurav. I'll be resolving that on the same grounds, I believe. Or in case if you have an urgent query, you can call me at any point of time. Yeah. So yeah, that is all from my end, guys. I hope I will be seeing most of the faces in my upcoming batch from 30th of January for sure. So till that point of time, signing off. In case if you have any more questions still, you guys can contact me on my number or email ID. Drop me a message also. Yeah, Ankur, just after the class, you can give me a call once the session completes. Yeah, you need to download PyCharm and stuff, Sumit. That is something which is mandatory. Yeah, yeah, you will get an email soon. So, okay then, guys, that's all from my side. In case if you have any more questions, drop me an email. Till that point of time, signing off. Stay safe, stay home, guys. Bye bye.